Am I blocking anybody?
I have friends who missed their counseling sessions because the bus didn't get to school until second period. And there's no opportunity for any of that lost time to be made up. Once it's gone, it's gone. Right. And that's 1,000 of hours of lost time. Right. Experienced by thousands of students.
Yes, please.
I need to know before I graduated that we
Very
these
improvised.
things in motion to prevent these issues from continuing. I need to know we are opening these buses contracts for new vendors. I need to know EPP will be in place to a sustainable job to retain reliable staffing. I need to know we are going to fix these broken busing systems in my lifetime and the students all around.
Shut it down.
We don't get it. Shut it down. We don't get it. Shut it down. We don't shut it down. We don't get it. Shut it down. We don't get it.
All right, everybody, you gotta know what's wrong?
Yes.
Okay, so what we have to do is abolish this busing service. They take the bus away at the end of the school year. They take the para agency away at the end of the school year. So we have to stop this. They're going to school until how old? Does anybody know? 22. Leave their bus services until they're 22. Leave them with their parents. They know them better than anyone else until they're 22. Stop taking their services and giving them hardship. There should be a 5-minute wait period at a bus stop. If you have a para, your para could be late. Your child might be in crisis. Your child might be fragilely, medically not able to board the bus. They should wait 5 minutes. That's all I want to say. We have to work together, parents.
Lived experiences are some of the best to share. I'd like to introduce another parent, Carmen, please. So I didn't come here to speak today. I came to support a fellow parent. I am no longer a parent of a District 75 student. My son is now at City College. When he is a student, he was an autism spectrum. He has autism spectrum disorder, and he was a District 75 student for a long time, for his whole school career. And he was a bus student for his whole school career. And I can't tell you how many times he has missed school. He was late for school. How many times we cried. He was hurt on the bus because he was not watched. They knew that there was another child that was violent maybe, and he was attacked on a bus by another child that was more aggressive than he was. There were times that I would pray every night, God, let him get the good bus today, or let the bus show up today. I would call and they'd say, sorry, or they would never pick up the phone, ever. I would get the same, wait time. They give you the confirmation number that they take your complaint, and they give you another complaint number, and another complaint number, and another complaint number, and nothing ever came of it. It didn't matter. It was falling on deaf ears, and I felt like, my God, and my son, thank God, he wasn't medically fragile, and he didn't have as many complex needs as another student, and so I didn't fight as hard as maybe another parent did. I didn't have the energy to. I couldn't take the day off. I couldn't afford to. I couldn't take that extra day because I needed the money. I had to make it to work, so I had to call grandma to come get him so she could take care of him. So he missed that day of school. So that was a day missed for him, and education missed, academic day missed for him. You know, and so I'm here to stand up for other parents, the parents that still have their kids in District 75, the kids that are still being bused. They need this. I'm here for you guys that are still dealing with it, that are still praying every day that the bus shows up in the morning. I'm here for you. I'm here to stand with you because I know how hard it is. And I'm getting emotional because I know how hard. So as a mom who's been there, I'm here for you, and I hope that this doesn't fall on deaf ears. Let's let these contracts not go beyond those 365 days. I'm here for it. That's all.
I'd like to introduce Megan Went, Program Coordinator from the Bronx Works Family Residences.
Good afternoon. I'm here to double down on everything you've heard so far today, but also to bring voice to students in temporary housing. I've had the privilege for the last 6 years to be a social worker in Bronx Works Family Shelters, and part of my job is to focus on making sure that nearly 400 children experiencing homelessness are enrolled in school and regularly attending. One of the biggest challenges we see in our shelters is students who are missing school or arriving late due to bus service, or who are on the bus for far too long, or are still waiting on routes months into the school year. Students face extensive delays in the transportation services that they are entitled to through the federal Bikini-Bento Act. New York City has not followed through on its commitment and legal obligation to provide students in shelter with transportation that they need to stay in their schools. Mind you, students in shelter and students with disabilities are not mutually exclusive, right? I have an example. With permission from this mother, I'm going to share her story today. A family arrived to us over the summer in shelter with a 6-year-old child. He had attended his school of origin, only 3 miles from our shelter, since pre-K. He and his mom loved his school. Mom is employed, but took a cut in hours due to their transition into shelter, already putting her job at risk. Her child did not have a route by the start of the school year, despite meeting the deadline set by the city to receive busing for the first day of school. Once assigned a route, his pickup time was 5:45 a.m. and drop off 5:30 p.m. Ultimately, she was faced with this impossible decision to risk losing her employment and delay her time in shelter, leave her son on the bus for over 4 hours a day, which is unacceptable for any child, a 6-year-old child, or transfer her son to a new school where he did not know anyone at a time in his life where he was already experiencing so much disruption and instability. Unfortunately, the transfer felt like her best option, and this is one story of many like it. Delays in routing, lack of available routes lead to chronic absenteeism, these disruptive and unnecessary school transfers as well. The repercussions also include chronic, toxic stress already on systemically disadvantaged families and further disruption of their sense of community. Let's put the pressure on the city to get new bus contracts in place as soon as possible. Yesterday, all right, that provide all students, including students living in shelters, students with disabilities, all students with on-time, reliable bus service that they deserve. Thank you.
I'd like to introduce a parent. She is co-president of the Community Education Council for Special Education. Maggie Sanchez will be reading something from another parent that could not be here with permission.
As a family living in a temporary shelter, as a parent, I want to use my voice to share my experience with school bus service this year. Since the school year began, I didn't receive any calls from the school bus company to coordinate a pickup time for my child who attends a school in District 75. He spends over 2 hours commuting between home and school, despite me making multiple formal complaints to OPT. In the 2022-2023 school year, there were 3 occasions when the bus did not pick up my child. 2024 school year, I managed to enroll my son in an after-school program at another school and requested a change in his bus ride. However, the bus dropped him off at the after-school program at time. A 3-hour bus ride. I filed complaint after complaint and had my son attend the after-school program for a week while waiting for a response. But no solution was found. I had to withdraw my son from the program, and the one who suffered was my son. He missed out on being part of an inclusive environment within the community school that has one student. No one seems to care or feel any concern about this except us parents. No matter how many boards we offer, this free transportation service for my son is unavailable to our family's limited financial resources. It is regrettable that children with disabilities who have the right to and need transportation to participate in activities that help them with improvement, adaptation, and extracurricular or support programs are limited in their access to these services due to a shortage of drivers and shortage of drivers.
A couple more speakers we'd like to invite. Milagros Cancel from the Timon Family Services.
Good afternoon, everybody. Speak Spanish. Me llamo Milagros Cancel, represento a Timon Family Service Inc. También soy madre con un hijo con autismo que en el pasado usaba el transporte escolar y es una vergüenza que todavía se sigan violentando los derechos de los estudiantes con discapacidad en el transporte escolar. Durante años luchamos para un mejor transporte escolar, Durante años luchamos para un mejor transporte escolar, que no sigan mintiendo a las familias y el Departamento de Educación sin escucharnos, sin soluciones y con promesas falsas. Cuando aquí estamos presentes demandando que no se sigan violentando los derechos bajo la ley 504 IDEA, nuestros estudiantes necesitamos que se nos escuchen y que haya soluciones para el transporte escolar y los trabajadores sean mejor y los estudiantes tengan un aprendizaje y lleguen a tiempo a la escuela y a sus terapias también a tiempo. También los problemas de los trabajadores en el bus no los escuchan y no se resuelven. ¿Hasta cuándo van a seguir ignorando? Basta ya. Todos se lucran del dolor ajeno de nuestras familias y nuestros hijos en el olvido como si no existieran, cuando hay soluciones que existen. Por eso estamos aquí luchando, para mejorar el transporte escolar y que se respete la ley 504 IDEA. Basta ya. Todos los problemas que están sucediendo es como si dejaras a un niño sin comida, es maltrato. Eso es lo que hacen con nuestros estudiantes y eso es lo que queremos seguir aguantando. Basta ya de que se sigan violentando los derechos en el transporte escolar a nuestros hijos y se sigan lucrando con el dolor ajeno de nuestras familias. Aquí estamos para presentar soluciones, no para relajo. Basta ya. Estamos en una nueva era, una nueva tecnología, lo que le quieran llamar, pero somos humanos. Pasen buenas tardes.
Definitely want to uplift the lack of language access when parents are calling to make these complaints. Thank you so much. I'd like to introduce Valeria Satar and Megan Gunlin from the Education Specialist Children's Aid.
Thank you for the opportunity to speaking with you all. My name is Farida Satar, and I'm an education specialist for Children's Aid, and this is my colleague, Megan Brunson. It is our responsibility to make sure kids in foster care get to school when OPT is unreliable, not showing up, or simply does not even tell us they're not even coming. Kids miss education opportunities because of this. Every morning,
morning, there is a student who is late to school because of transportation issues. They may not be able to get there. They are missing out on their education studies in the morning, social interaction times, and most of all, their time to be in school. It is a heartbreaking reality. Our students in foster care cannot rely on a school bus to access their education opportunities that they deserve. In the greatest city in the world, where literally billions of dollars are spent on school transportation, children in foster care should be prioritized to ensure school stability. Parents and families should not have to choose between being late for work or making sure their child gets to school safely. This is not just an inconvenience, it's a matter of equity. Families in outer boroughs, low-income neighborhoods, and communities of color are hit the hardest. Their busing routes are late, opportunities are lost. Chronic absenteeism increases, learning suffers, and families and students pay the price. We need more routes, better planning, and a citywide commitment to ensuring every child has safe and reliable transportation. Thank you. A couple of our last speakers, Sarah Catalinado from PIST NYC, that's Parents for Improved School Transportation.
Gotta get these kids to school. Today at 4 a.m., thousands of school bus workers got up to do their part for education. About half have the experience and union pride to demonstrate safety and communication standards. Each year, hundreds retire. Each week, scores more are prevented from working by red tape and employee tracking and investigation systems. The understaffed buses make kids miss school and parents miss paid work. A few examples. Anonymous says, last school year, I lost my job after the bus company failed to replace the driver after her fifth last-minute call-out in 4 weeks. I have not been able to find work since. I feel constant anxiety, wondering when my son's routine will be thrown off by sudden bus issues. Tiffany A. says, my son's pickup time is changing to 7:25. I work near home, but I start at 7. My job is not the type I can bring him to wait. A 7:25 pickup would not get him to school on time because his school is 10 miles away. And a third family says they gave us ride share instead of a bus route. We can drop her off, but someone has to leave work early to pick her up. So after Tweet pays millions for school bus contracts, do they pay attention? Where are the 106 drivers to be hired per 100 routes? The quality control of training, accounting of what goes to repairs and what goes to profit. Solutions to weaknesses in busing policy have long been proposed by organized parents, school and school bus employees, and disability advocates. Let's cultivate a stable student transportation workforce. Prepare youth for jobs at the bus spaces, on the phones in all the languages, as bus paddles or travel trainers. Reward senior workers with State Bills A-8440 and S-1018. Offer permanent visas to school bus staff with TPS. Students can't wait years for these ideas to be applied. Their access to education is at stake. Recruit and retain. Recruit and retain. Recruit and retain.
What do we want? When do we want it? Now. A couple of our last speakers, thank you so much for staying with us. I'd like to introduce parent advocate Prima Esquerro, also representing the District 75 President's Council.
Good afternoon. I stand here today as the President of the District 75 President's Council, representing
when transportation becomes the biggest barrier to your child's education. We all understand emergency contracts are necessary. They keep buses running right now to get kids to school tomorrow. But families also know the bigger issue lies in the long-term contracts. The agreements that shape transportation for 5 years at a time in New York City. Here's the reality. The Office of Pupil Transportation, OPT, which is part of the New York City Department of Education, has been extending the same types of contracts for decades. And once those 5-year contracts are signed, they become nearly impossible to change. Even when everyone agrees they're not working, the impact is real. Children spending 2 hours or more on a bus, routes that serve 5 and 6 schools, families waiting weeks just to get an assigned route. It's not about blaming staff. Our drivers, attendants, and school workers are doing their absolute best every day. This is about a system designed around contracts and vendors, not students. Parents have been advocating on this for decades. The Individuals with Disabilities Education Act, IDEA, was first passed in 1975, almost 50 years ago, and has been reauthorized again and again to strengthen students' rights. But during the same time span, New York City has kept extending bus contracts written generations ago. Contracts that never centered the needs of today's students. That's why we are calling for something simple. Give us time to work with lawmakers on legislation to protect bus workers. Keep the contract short, 1 year. Give us time to partner with unions that are ready to be part of the solution. And most of all, give us time to build a system that finally puts students first. Because at the end of the day, we don't spend hundreds of millions of dollars on buses for companies. We spend it for children to get to school, to be educated, so they can arrive ready to learn with dignity, with safety, and with consistency. So today, as president of the District 75 President's Council, and as a fellow bus parent for the last 16 years, I am calling on our policymakers, our legislators, and our city leaders. Make sure the next contracts create space for reform, protect workers, and finally, put the students at the center. Our kids cannot afford another 5 years of broken promises. Thank you.
Thank you. And last but not least, another true partner in this work, Randy Levine, Advocates for Children, New York. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Randy Levine. I'm Policy Director of Advocates for Children of New York. Each year as the school year begins, there's one thing we can count on. Our phones will ring off the hook with calls from families whose children can't get to school due to school bus service failures. We are grateful to the parents and students who came today to share their stories. What I can tell you is that they are not alone. Call after call after call. Students arriving after their first or even second class has already ended. Students on buses for so long that they are getting sick or missing their afternoon therapies. Students missing days or even weeks of school. Parents left scrambling, missing work, their jobs at risk. Call after call after call. And let's be clear, this crisis hits hardest for students with disabilities, students who are homeless, and students in foster care. Students who live farther away from their schools, students who depend on school bus service to get there, and students who have a legal right to receive it. And it's also hard for any parent to navigate the system, but particularly hard for parents who speak a language other than English. As an organization focused on education, we want to spend our time advocating for what happens inside the students can get to school in the first place. This has to change. As you've heard today, there are immediate steps the city can and must take now to improve school transportation. And the city must rebid its 45-year-old outdated school bus contracts. Yes, the same contracts that were in place when I rode the yellow school bus as a New York City public school student decades ago. We need the state to step up and pass legislation to allow the city to rebid school bus contracts with current protections for bus workers in place. And we need the city to put in place new contracts, modern contracts that ensure that students can get to school on time safely every single day. Because no child should have to miss school simply because they can't get there. I want to give a huge thank you to New York Appleseed and all the members of the Road to Better Busing Coalition, as well as to the elected officials, parents, students, advocates, and educators who came out here today. We will keep working to get this done. What do we want?
Better busing.
What do we want?
Better busing.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we need?
Better busing.
When do we need it?
Now.
Thank you, everyone.
And I thank you all for continuing on this work, and we invite all of you, this is one bandwagon, we do invite all of you to jump on the back of the bus to continue this work. Thank you so much.